Stoop, man.
How you
How you
doing?
doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I can't complain. Definitely thank you for your time and blessing me with you know what I'm saying, your presence to be
Yeah,
on
thanks
my
for having me.
platform or whatever.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. So let me get right into it. Where was you where were you born and raised at?
Yeah. So born and raised initially, I think the technical hospital I was born in was in Commerce Township, Huron Valley Hospital, and then grew up in Farmington Hills probably until I was like I think 13, and then after that is when we moved to Detroit proper. But yeah, so like Metro Detroit for I want to say like born until I was middle school, and then for like my formative years, middle school onwards, we were actually in the city. So yeah.
That's tight. That's tight. So how was it growing up in Farmington Hills?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it was, I mean, a lot of playing outside, I'm saying, like suburban life.
Yeah.
A lot of playing outside. I feel like a big thing for us growing up, we went to the YMCA a lot. So there was like the local YMCA. So whether it was like swim lessons or like day camps, or we just did a lot of those kinds of activities.
Hmm.
And I remember my mom, she made it a point for us to, even though we were living in the suburbs during that time, to take us to the city a lot. So we would go to downtown to like the DIA, or we'd go to the DSO. We'd be downtown for the like parade, because she actually worked in the city. She worked for DTE for a number of years. So even though we
Yeah.
lived in the suburbs, it was definitely her. She made like put it on herself to make sure we had like, we were actually exposed to culture and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like you got the quiet life, the I guess the safety of the suburbs, but then of course you would take us to the city for
Yeah.
like the other stuff. But yeah, it was a good mix, and of course you like learn the dichotomy of just you meet a lot more. Maybe there's a bit more. I guess we were at there was a lot of diversity in the suburbs, so there was a lot of like Indian people or Asian people, and then white people, of course. And then just I feel like you learn how to get along and talk to different kinds of people. You just have a more expanded worldview by the people that you're around. So yeah, I feel like that was most of my early life was just like growing up around those types of people, and then of course as I got older, being in the city more, you definitely get both sides of the same coin. You realize people aren't so different when you spend time with them. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So what would you say or like what would you say you liked it more? Growing up in the burbs, or when you actually when your family actually moved from Farmington to Detroit? What would you
Yeah,
say? You know.
I definitely liked it more because when we moved to the city, we actually lived downtown proper. We were in at the riverfront, so it was like on Jefferson and Riverfront Ave. So we were like right on the river. And to me,
Hmm.
I never lived near like a big body of water. So to me, I thought that was just like so different, especially since like when you think of Detroit, you don't think of it being on a body of water, but the Detroit River is
Right.
obviously a major body of water. So to me, I definitely like being downtown a lot more. I started getting into like skating during that time, so I would like just longboard specifically, but I would just like longboard downtown. Yeah, it just felt like I just loved the urban landscape. Got used to hearing sirens and just noises at nighttime, and I just really fell in love with being in the city proper. But yeah, it was great. Definitely prefer the city for sure. Hmm. Yeah, and I feel like there was just more to do. As you get older, and living in a city, there's way more stuff to do. Whereas when you're a child, you're at home most of the time. So it's like you know you're at home or you're going to do an activity and you're just back home, whereas like you can kind of be more entrenched in the culture when you're living in an actual city you know
Yeah. That's tight. That's tight. At what point in your life made you want to pursue rap?
hmm so I'd say it was at the end of my high school. I went to high school in Southfield actually, but during my senior of high school we did like this poetry unit. So we did this poetry unit where we were given a word and we had to just kind of write a free form poem about a word. And I remember that's when I first discovered I had a love or even a talent just for making words rhyme and just like figuring out, I don't know, just like really getting into creative writing. That's kind of where that started. And I remember during that time I was really big into like Blog era and Childish Gambino and
Yeah.
Kanye West or whatever. And for me, it was kind of like I never thought that you could be a rapper if you didn't have like a hood perspective. That I mean, that was like that's just kind of what the consensus was. I feel like just generally speaking, but listening to more of those rappers who were kind of even J Cole and like Wale, but artists who weren't of that. And for me, I got more comfortable to I felt like I had a love for this writing, a love for poetry. Like let me
Mhm.
actually try and make some music. So I think it was the beginning of end of my senior year, going into my freshman year of college, is where I really started to get a love for wanting to write and learn how to actually rap. That's kind of where that began. Yeah.
Cool, cool. That's tight. That's definitely tight. Yeah, I hear you talk about Jay Dilla a lot. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So what would be you would say what would be your favorite Jay Dilla song
Hmm.
that you would say that Jay Dilla produced or have worked on?
My favorite of his that he's produced.
Yes.
Let's see. That's a tough one because there's so many that I love. But if I had to pick the one that I feel like I go back to so often, um, I might have to go with "Didn't You Know" by Erica. I think to me that one is like yeah, that one is like I'm always in the mood to hear that song. Anytime it comes on, I have to like stop and just like appreciate the instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is probably my favorite if I had to pick. I mean, honorable mention. I feel like is "Love Is" by Common or "It's Your World," but yeah, if I had to pick my favorite, it's probably "Didn't You Know."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He definitely was a I would say ahead of his time before before Kanye and all them type of
Hmm.
producers came about. Um what's some producers you would like to work with that you haven't worked with that you would
Hmm.
that you kind of got your eye on that you would say, okay, yeah, I would like to work with this producer.
Yeah. Oh, I love to work with Sango. We've spoken a couple times, but to actually
Hmm.
get a beat from him or to work on some music produced by him would be amazing. I would love to work with K Tronado. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. So someday would love to actually lock in with him. Monty Booker's another one I'd love to work with too. A lot of those guys who just have like a very unique take on like how hip hop production sounds.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
That's tough too. Yeah. Um, let me see. What would you say would be the best part so far of making music? Like,
The
what would
best.
be what,
Mhm.
would- what would be your best part of making music?
The best part. I mean, so to me, I think like I love I kind of split it in two. So I think being a musician, there's like half of it, which is the writing and recording portion of it, which I find very exciting. But then there's also the portion of performing it live. And I
Hmm.
feel like there's nothing like seeing a crowd react in real time, or people who have digested your music in their homes, and then they're coming to experience it in a live setting, and you can kind of see them, whether it's like they're reciting the lyrics back to you, or you're seeing how the lyrics are hitting them in that live setting. So I think yeah, I think honestly playing shows is really, if I had to pick like my favorite part of just kind of all of it. um yeah, I think playing shows is definitely a huge thing. I just love when the music translates to a live stage, and when you actually
Yeah,
get to see it touch the people in real time.
yeah. Um, let me see. Um, so you were saying that I know you were saying that you was as a kid. I was hearing you say you was into um Pokemon and stuff like that. What
Mhm.
would you prefer over the two? Um, I would say Pokemon or like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Growing up, I did love them both, but I think probably just because of like they had the games that I was very much into in addition to the show, I probably would
Uh
say
huh.
Pokemon because even though I did play the card game too for Yu-Gi-Oh, but for me, Pokemon is probably the one. I look back on that even now. Actually, I'm playing Red version again right now. A friend of mine let me borrow their SP, so I'm going back to it and I'm like
Yeah,
rediscovering my love for the game. But yeah, that Pokemon I'd probably have to pick. That was probably the one for me. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh
definitely.
was close though. Yu-Gi-Oh was close. That was a
Yeah,
push,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. So did you ever grow up like I know you were into skateboarding. Any what would you prefer over the two, like BMX or skateboarding?
So I never really got into BMX like that, but I did get
Uh
into
huh.
I was into inline skating. So I did inline skating for a little bit and skating. I
Yeah.
tried and skateboarding. I tried to get into both. I thought for a little bit I would be like an inline skater because I thought that was like I want to say during like the mid 2000s that was a pretty popular thing when you would go to skate parks you would see people doing a lot of both. But growing up, I did I was very much into inline skating for sure. That was like the one that I wanted to pursue a little bit.
Yeah,
I didn't end up keeping up with it, but for a while it was definitely a fun one.
yeah. I would probably, if I had to choose, I probably would say yeah, skateboarding. Even though I have did very little skateboarding, but yeah, that's tight too. Um, what would you say is your favorite song you have recorded? I'll tell you the one. My one of my favorites of yours is
Mhm.
I know you got a few, but I will have to think of it. But what would you say is your favorite song you have recorded so far?
My favorite song that I've recorded. So I think I my bad. I think I got a call coming. So I didn't hear what you said. What did you say was your favorite?
My favorite is oh man, shoot, you got a few albums. I can't think of the name of the song. What is the name of it? I think you start off saying like smooth jack. I forget. Like I
Oh,
can't even think.
are you talking about what is it? Your World, the local organic song?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
really appreciate that. That's to me. I would say that's one of my favorites from you.
Thank you,
Definitely.
bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
but
was
what?
really fun to make. Love that one a lot, actually.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you don't have. Do you have a video to that particular
Uh,
song?
we don't technically know. We have like a live performance, like a live in studio performance, but we don't actually have a music video for it. No.
Man. So,
Yeah.
but no, I'm sorry. I'm interviewing you. But
No, you good.
What would you say is your favorite though
My favorite. That's a
that
great
you
question.
have recorded so far?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the rapper answer to be like the one that's not out yet. But if I had to pick one that's out,
Yeah.
one that's out that is my favorite. Hmm, that's a great question. I think Blue Intro is probably up there for me. Blue
Mm-hmm.
Intro because to me that one is just like um I feel like it's very raw and I'm just kind of speaking my mind and
Yeah.
it's like a good timestamp record for where I was at the time and it's just like a good thesis for like who I am as an artist and what I'm trying to do. So I think if I had to pick one at this moment, I think Blue Intro is probably the one.
Yeah, definitely. I will go with that one too. That's one of my favorites as well. Where
Thank
you get your inspiration from to create music? You know what I'm saying? Where do your inspiration come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say, I mean, God and life. Honestly, like um, daily experiences. I'm a man of faith,
Mhm.
so definitely like you know, like looking through the lens of my life through looking for inspiration, asking God to help me find inspiration through stuff that's happened to me. I feel like that's where it comes from. But yeah, that cartoons that I used to watch growing up,
That's tough.
things that I read. For a while I was really into. I'm even now like very into like self help books and just books that you learn nonfiction stuff that you can learn stuff from that you can take gems from. So I think all
Yeah,
those kinds of things all kind of add to the inspiration pool that make up my lyrics and the things that I talk about.
yeah. I got a fashion question for you.
Mhm.
Favorite like your favorite ultimate sneakers of all time. What would you say your favorite sneakers would be?
Favorite sneaker of all time. Hmm. So I'm looking at my shoes. Like, that's a good question of all time. There definitely was a time when I would have said the Jordan ones, but I
Hmm.
feel like as I've gotten older, I don't know. I feel I'm not the Jordans. I'm not as into them as much as I used to be. But if I had,
Yeah,
yeah, but if I had to pick a pair that I say is my favorite, hmm, hmm. Actually, yeah, I think I'll say for the sake of the question, I think I'll say the Air Max One Essentials. I like those a lot.
okay.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a pair
those
of the what is it? The I think the Monarch color, right? The one that came out a few years ago. But yeah, I think just the Air Max one is a really
Air
classy
Max
shoe.
One.
Hmm.
Okay, good. That's tight. What does what can I say? What does Detroit music means to you? Far as um, like the production of it, the sounding of it. Like, what does Detroit music, in your eyes, means to you?
Hmm. So I think Detroit music. I mean, I think in recent times it's become people have a certain idea of what it sounds like, and of course, you
Hmm.
have the dirty bass lines and the fast paced drums with rapping ahead of the beat or behind the beat. That's what you
Yeah.
typically, people. That's when, if you ask them what Detroit music sounds like, that's probably what they would tell you. But to me, it means to me, I think like, Motown is Detroit music. Dilla is Detroit music. I think it's way more diverse, and there's way more colors to it than people remember. So I think to me, it's just like it's such a kaleidoscope of sounds that I think is unlike any other city. Like I feel like no other city has been as influential as we are, and like yeah, and just so diverse. Like I feel like you can't, if you really want to look at the big picture of Detroit music, you can't say it sounds like one thing. There's like so many different
Right.
styles, and um yeah, just so many different styles and sounds to what we have to offer.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely agree with that. Um.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, working on an EP right now. Yeah, the plan is to release a music video pretty soon. I was shooting one a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I got a whole EP, working on a whole new world that I'm building right now. But yes, so short answer is yes. Definitely got a lot of work
Okay.
coming
Cool.
up.
Yeah. 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 Um. Man, do you have any because I know you had a skate party last year.
Mhm.
What was that like in May? Is you currently doing any new like any new events like the one you had like
Mhm.
last year?
Yeah, so the plan is to bring it back. We're doing the second installment of it, but we're doing it in September this time. But
Okay.
yep. So the plan is to, I want to make that an annual event. Cartoons and stereo is going to be an annual thing that I want to continue to build up as the years go on. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so definitely plan to bring that back and just bring more artists outside of the city to play it, and just kind of grow the festival and have Detroit be like a destination that people come to. Honestly, I want it to be like our version of Flognaw or our version of
Yeah.
Lollapalooza. That's the goal. That's what I want it to become, Lord willing. But yeah, so the plan is to keep doing that, and very passionate about having people see Detroit in just a different light, and having
Yeah.
more artists come back here to do festivals.
That's tight.
Mhm.
Um, what artists, even industry or that's still indie, what artists could you see yourself maybe in the future working with? Say like I don't know, maybe like Currency or
Mm.
like a ASAP Rocky. Could you ever see yourself working with those type of artists?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love. I'm a big fan of the blog era, so I love Currency. I love Larry June. I feel like he's been somebody I listen to a lot these days. Um, you know, even like indie artists like Bon Iver, would love to work with him someday. Would be
Hmm.
crazy. But yeah, a lot of those artists would love to work with any of them.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing a song with especially like a ASAP Rocky or Currency or somebody like that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Um have any mainstream artists have ever reached out to you of
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. I remember it was actually a couple years back, but Big Sean and I have spoken before. We like DMs, and that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think in terms of mainstream artists. Yeah, actually, yeah. Quinn 92 is another one. I guess uh,
Hmm.
he's pretty mainstream as well. But yeah, some artists here and there for sure have reached out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um Rolling Loud. How you feel about Rolling Loud? Could you ever see yourself maybe one day soon performing at big venue like
Yeah, I mean, if Rolling Loud thinks I match the demographic, I would love to play that festival. I mean, it seems, I mean, it's crazy. It's like in terms of hip hop festivals, that's probably the biggest one doing it right now. But yeah, if they feel like I match the crowd as an audience for me there, then yeah, I would love to do it.
Yeah, I could see maybe like the Dreamville Festival or something like that. Like the
Mm,
one J. Cole, that one's a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could see you doing something like that.
yeah, that would be great.
Um
We love that.
yeah, what do you think what do you think real hip hop is missing?
What I think real hip hop is missing. I
Hmm.
think I'll say honestly, probably originality. I think there's a lot of
Hmm.
just copying, and which is not a new thing, but I think today it's maybe more prevalent than it has been in the past. It just seems like, and I think there's more originality now than maybe there was during like the peak of the SoundCloud era. It just felt like everybody was
Yeah.
trying to sound like, you know, a little Yachty, a little Uzi. But I think Yeah, just originality. I think people just really being themselves and doing something unique. I think that's probably the thing that's missing. There's a lot of I see this thing working. Let me try and do what I see working. And I feel like the way the algorithm and how social media works, there is a part of that where copying will work. Like let's say you see a video or something working out for somebody, you try and emulate it, and your video's probably gonna go crazy too. So I think, yeah, if there was one thing I'd say is missing, it's definitely just like unique originality and really trying to be yourself. You're being your authentic self.
Yeah, I will agree. Um, well, I think I already asked you that. What is it any more? Let's see. Is it any more artists you would like to work with that you probably haven't said, or some other artists? I mean, either from from the city or maybe out of town that
Mhm.
maybe that you would like to do some songs with.
Yeah, I feel like I'd love to work with Alchemist one day. That would be crazy. Like I feel like I love his
Yeah,
production and I love how he's just been so consistent over the past few years with just locking in with a rapper and just doing a project. So I would love to someday do a project with him. That would be crazy. Um, yeah, I love the idea of just like locking in with one person and really developing a sound together and kind of sticking to that. But yeah, Alchemist is another big one for sure.
that's tight. That's tight. You are you working on any, say, for this project that's coming up? Are you working on any merch or anything
Yep. Yeah.
like
So
for the album with the album?
yeah, so the whole world that I'm building, there would definitely be a merch component to it. Essentially, it's like this. I don't know if you see my old merch, but Stoop's Market was like a whole thing, and I'm sort of doing my best to bring that Stoop's Market, making that a real world thing that you can actually go and visit. So with you being able to go to this actual market, I want you to be able to get the merch too, and get like custom made like food items that you would get at any kind of
Oh,
bodega.
that's tight.
Yeah, trying to working on bringing that to life. But short answer is yes, definitely working on
Yeah,
merch along with everything I'm doing right now.
that's tight. Um, what's some of the producers you have already worked with on a lot of your music that you have already put out?
Yeah. So Steve does music. He's a producer from New Jersey. We've worked on a lot of stuff. This other producer Garrett, I believe he's based in LA, but he's from Florida. We've worked on a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Jacob Sigmund. We used to be in this band together called Hardcore Kids. We've worked on a lot of stuff together. Charlie Berg as well was also in Hardcore Kids. Munch Music is another member. So I feel like a lot of those are the people I've mainly worked on music with. That son, another huge one, producer from Windsor. But yeah, those are probably the main producers I've worked with on my current music.
Who was the guy? Is that much the one that you had the skateboard party with?
Yeah, yeah,
Um.
he was the owner of that venue. Yep.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay. Does
Hmm.
it who? Okay, maybe that's okay. Isn't one of your friends doing like merch, or he got like a screen printing?
Yeah, that's
Um.
that's him. Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
Maher.
that's
He's got
much.
a yeah, as much. He's got like a screen printing workshop in addition to the nightclub. So he's like a jack of all trades. He's got a bunch of businesses. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's tight. I see somebody in the chat saying they do all music, but yeah, man, that's tight. Yeah, I need to go and check him out though, because I was on his page not too long ago, looking like,
Hmm.
oh wow, I didn't know he actually um do merch and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So I think that is tight as well. When
Yeah.
is your next project coming out?
So the next part, I'm probably aiming for, I want to say maybe like early summer for the actual project to drop. Of course, there's going to be singles leading up to it, but I'd say I'll probably aim for like a early to midsummer release.
Early to mid summer. Okay. How many songs you will be on the album or the EP or
EP, I'm thinking like not more than like 6 or 7.
6 or 7? Yeah,
Mhm.
that'll be tight. That'll be
Yeah.
tight. Trying to think of some more stuff, man. What are some of your favorite skateboarders?
So I guess even like skate brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Baker is cool. I used to love Element growing up. Trying to think what other. Of course, Vans is a great skate company too. But
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like I'm not as tapped into like all the different skate brands as I used to be. But those are some of the names that I used to like growing up. Of course, Adidas skateboarding is doing cool stuff too. They have probably one of my my favorite skate videos I've seen. It's called The Splits. It's essentially their skate team going to skateboard around Japan, which is a really cool video. So if you get the chance to see it, highly recommend looking at The Splits by Adidas Skateboarding.
That's tight. That's tight, man. Definitely. Well, man, I think that was yeah. That was I gotta. I think yeah, that was pretty much all I had. Yeah. Once you let the people know where they could find you, where they could contact you for any maybe possible features.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. Like give them your what I mean your info or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, reaching out through Instagram, just at the Stoop, so at THASTOOP for all my information. Yeah, if you features or just want to say what's up, and I'm on Discord too, so same thing. The channel is called the Stoop. I'm gonna try and put a lot more exclusive content on my Discord.
Do you be in Discord on your Discord?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
try. I made one. I made the channel maybe like a couple years ago, but I'm trying this year to be way
mhm.
more active in it. I'm actually putting like previews of new stuff coming out, demos of music and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. The plan is definitely way more active in Discord than I have been in the past. Yeah, are you in
Yeah.
Discord?
You know what? I think I did make a page not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the app. I haven't been
Oh,
on
nice.
I haven't been on there in a while, but yeah, I most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to think of some other things to ask you. Um, man, dang. I think that might be pretty much it, man. I'm definitely gonna do a follow up
Yeah,
interview with you
let's do it.
when once you put out your new project, because I really feel like you're a dope artist because it's so
Thank you.
different than the norm, you know what I mean, of
Mm-hmm.
what Detroit music is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, you got your big mainstream guys like the Babyface Rays and
Mm-hmm.
those guys, but it's always two sides to every story. So
Yeah.
I think what you bring to the culture and just how you rap and put your sound and words together, I think that is dope because I think mainstream wise, I think they need to see both
Right.
parts of the city. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's why even when I'm in other people's chats, I always let people know like Detroit has a lot of music,
Right.
other than like the mainstream guys, the Icewear Vezos,
Mm-hmm.
Babyface Rays, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's dope what you're doing. And it's,
Thank you, bro.
you know what I mean, you could really vibe out to it. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's dope. But definitely, man, I definitely appreciate you for giving me your time, for getting on my platform or whatever. And I definitely gonna be doing, holding a conducting a second interview with you.
Yeah, no,
You know
thank
what
you. I
I'm
appreciate your support and for having me. You've been tapped in for a minute, so I really appreciate you pushing the music and letting people know about it. It just definitely means a lot. And yeah, I think it's important that, like you said, people see the multiple sides to Detroit music. I think that's
Yeah,
super.
most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. But thank you, man. I definitely will be in touch with you.
Yeah,
Um, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Thank you.
cool. Peace. Thank you, bro.